Ah, that looks like a bad ground to me. Okay, let's get it sorted. Right, so here we are. It's the next day, obviously. This is daylight. Pulled out all the panels out of the boot. I'm going to open this here and remove this. Comes out just like that. Fairly basic stuff. These pins in here, when you put them in and you lock them, that engages the power for the side repeater lights or side marker lights and the LED tubes. Now, been doing a little bit of reading up on this last night and work, and this is a very common issue with all BMWs apparently, and now that I'm in here I can most definitely see why. So here's our multi-plug for the light. As you can see, a bit melted there. The brown wire is the ground. So we have 7 wires in this connector. Okay. This is very, very poor practice by BMW, I have to say. 7 wires in here. One for the tail light, one for the brake light, one for the fog light, one for the reverse light. What else did I say? Oh, I'm after completely losing track of myself now. Anyhow, you have all these lights on the back. Indicator, tail, fog, reverse, etc. Right? And they're asking the return current or the ground for all those lights to go through that wire. Like, look at some of the other ground wires they use here. Ridiculously small. That's very, very poor. So what's going on here with this is that over time this connection would loosen up a little bit or whatever due to heat, constantly expanding and contracting with heat. You just think about it, you're sat at a junction one night on your way home from work at a set of traffic lights. You're sitting there with your foot in the brake, indicators on, tail lights on, and you're probably at that stage asking about 8 amps worth of current to go back through that wire to ground. Okay, let's see what we're going to do here. Right, well, what I'll do is I'm going to clean up that pin and tighten it up a bit, and I'll clean the pin on the back of the socket here. See, there's a little bit melted there, you see it? Top one on the left. So I'll clean that up a little as well, and I'm going to add a ground wire to this, and we'll connect it up down here to this strap point. So that's it for now. Let's get that done. Right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to add a ground to this. Now, as you're looking at the lamp unit, this is actually upside down. That's the reverse light. These are the 2 tails, brake and tail, or they're the brakes, sorry. And that's the fog there. So, right, what we're going to do now is we're going to add a ground wire to here, onto this bar. This bar all the way along here is the ground. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. I'm actually going to add 2 because I tend to do things to extremes. Right, so this is the wire I'm going to use, which is some cable that we use for feeding the power to our radios. This stuff will handle 30 amps, no problem. And I've tinned the end. I just snip a bit off it and tidy it up. And you can see I have some solder on there. And we'll add the ground wire on. So I'm going to put one there I'd probably put one here as well. Right, so I've done, you see the wires there, I put on a couple of the eyelets. They're crimped, soldered, heat shrink on the two of them. And one there, and one there. So I just put it back on now. There's enough room for these wires to come out, so we'll put it back on now. Right, so I have the bulb carrier back on. And you see the two ground wires there. One here, one here. They come down to there. It's the ground point. And I've cleaned up all the pins and kind of tightened it up a bit. So, like this wire actually here now is, it's not really doing anything now because these two wires are doing the work. Why did it get hot? As I said earlier in the video, over time that connection would have loosened from constantly expanding and contracting because this wire would have been getting hot. When that happens, the connection is fairly poor. The resistance rises really high and creates heat, and if left for much longer it could have completely melted that plug. So you know, I've read all sorts on the internet about, you know, you have to replace this, and you don't need to do any of that. If you just add the couple of grounds the way I showed you and connect them into the ground bus there, it'll be fine. So, see now that it works without flickering. And there you have it. No more flickering anymore. So happy days. So that's how you fix the E60, and this is an LCI. This happens, there's an awful lot on the internet about this on the pre-LCI, and the difference is, if you don't know, that the mind that now, it's just the camera making it look like it's flickering. The indicators on the LCI facelift model are LED, and you have the LED side markers up here that you don't have on the pre-LCI, and that's about it really. So now they won't come on now because I've already done it, but it's fine now. So thank you for watching, and please comment and subscribe. Bye bye.